Okay, welcome. I have some paint problems. See that? And of course, see that? The bike looks really good, and then you go and bend the plastics and, you know, the paint chips off. So I am trying to prevent that for the Brabman. And what I've decided to do, see this fender's it's in rough shape. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, this is cracked. I put my whole thing here to fix that, to keep it from. But so I'm gonna experiment with something that looks like a piece of junk anyway. I have heard about this stuff called Plasti Dip. If you do any Google searches, any YouTube videos, there's all kinds of stuff that talks about this Plasti Dip. And what I've heard about it, that I like about it, is that it works good for plastics. It's kind of this coating that goes over the top of it. So I'm gonna try this and see what it looks like. And this is the other thing the other reason I'm thinking about doing this is because look at those scratches. Yep, AMAP likes to beat up his bike. Well, the plastics anyway. So I'm gonna sand these things down and do all the prep work you're supposed to do, and then paint it up and see what it looks like. That on the Lazarus machine that's outside the window there, I did all of that like you're supposed to do, and then I used Rust-Oleum paint like Everride showed you to do, and he's not pleased with the result. It looks great until you bend it, until you ride it tough and bad things happen. So that's where we're at, working on batteries, working on plastics. It's winter. What else you gonna do? Alright, I've sanded this thing down. I started out with my hand sanding it down. That had just taken too long. So I grabbed an orbital sander, and you had 150 grit paper on there, so I figured I'd start with that. That was taking too long. So I took it down to 100 grit sandpaper, and that worked pretty good. I was able to get some of the real deep scratches out. There's still some, but I'm actually trying to leave some of this stuff in there. And it might look okay on camera, but it feels, it's very textury right now. It's not smooth at all. This is smooth and glossy. I didn't sand that part, so it's smooth and glossy. And I purposely didn't sand this part out right here, because this Plasti Dip is supposed to be, it's like a covering. And if you don't like it, you just pull it off. So it's like a rubber coating. Don't think of it as paint. You treat it like paint, but it's more of a coating, and it sticks together. And people just put on dip your car, or dip your plastics, or dirt bike dip, or whatever. It comes up and it shows you all this stuff. So I'm wanting to see what it does. So I've done all these different places where I've sanded it really well. And made it really nice right here, and other places I didn't sand it so well. I just took off some grooves. Other places I let it stay where it was, and then other places I didn't sand at all. And then this right here is where the decal is, and I'm gonna paint over that, and then take an X-Acto knife and go it out, and then pull that off so I can see the decal again. So see what it looks like. Been shaking the can vigorously for about a minute. Don't film me, just don't be so fast. Make sure you just hold it over that. Okay, here we go. Plasti Dip coat number 1.
Is that just white?
It is just white. You are correct.
Are you gonna cover the tape?
Yeah, when I get there.
What did you say? Uh-oh.
And there's a hair in it. Calvin, did you drop your hair in the paint?
No. That's really ugly right now.
I'm not done.
It still looks ugly.
Very thick paint. It's like it's plastic coating.
It looks good. It looks
Does
pretty.
it look good, Kevin?
Yeah, I like it when it's white.
Dad, have it filming the ground.
Don't film the ground.
I'm trying not to. It was like that.
Boop, boop.
Calvin!
I can't see anything.
Stop it, guys.
Why do you take videos like this?
I have no idea why he does that. Yeah, Dad, why do you take videos?
To show all my YouTube friends.
Like who? Yum Joe?
That's right, Yama Joe. Who else? Well, here is the, after 2 coats, what this panel looks like. And I can tell you right away that the sanding is not the way to go. I don't know if you can tell from the, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up the texture. You can see the little ridges. There you go. There's probably some. Yeah, there you go. See the bumps and stuff. Okay, I thought that the sand. I thought it might take that out, but it didn't. Now up here, right above that second O or 0 in 400, you can see where the scratch mark is. But you can see there's a lot higher gloss, so it looks nicer. And it didn't cover up that scratch completely, but it did hide it a bit. And then of course I was able to peel this off, and actually I masked it, but I didn't need to mask it. This stuff is, it's got a little, you just get a little X-Acto knife out or whatever, and you can cut along, and as long as you start peeling it, and it just peels right off. It's really cool. And that's the secret about this stuff, is you can, if you don't like the way it looks, you can just peel it off. You know, you can change the color of your bike and ride it for a while and protect it, and then just peel it off. It's like a coat of plastic that you put over it. It's pretty neat. So I'm not going to sand the rest of my panels. I might sand individual spots or something, but the whole sanding process. Now if I would have used a higher grit, you know, like a 220 or something, it might have done a little better, but it's still, I don't know, it'll be interesting. The dirt will probably stick to that pretty bad. It's not going to just rot. Now up here where I did not sand, it's a lot smoother. So we'll check it out later. I'm gonna do the front fender. This is the muffler side plastic, and I'm finding what works pretty good. This is, you know, pretty scratched up, but this is what happens when you have trees. What I'm doing here is I've actually just taken an X-Acto knife or a razor blade and just kind of peeling it off and getting all the rough spots cleaned up. And that seems to be doing a lot better than the sandpaper, whereas, you know, the sandpaper made it all, it made it feel like sandpaper, honestly. So it's making, the sandpaper almost created more rough stuff, whereas the razor blade is pretty good about smoothing it out. It's not completely, you know, the same level and everything, but if you cut into the plastic, you can get off of this out, and then when I spray it with the Plasti Dip, I think it'll work out a little better. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, this is 2 coats on the muffler side plastic here. Did not sand it. Tried to use the razor blade and shave it, and not that great a job. But for the parts that, I mean, it looks better than it did originally after I beat it up. But and then this fender, I didn't do anything to it. I just painted it, and you can see it. I mean, even after like 5 or 6 coats right here, you can still see it's pretty bad. So you probably ought to get something to fill in the pits if you're gonna use this. But check this out. This is, try doing this with paint. Okay, I just painted, I didn't even paint that. I mean, I just, you know, sprayed over the top of it, and then I got the knife or the razor blade, went around here, and then this just peels right off. Hopefully I made my cuts right down there. Yep. Pretty cool, huh? Like I said, try doing that with paint. So it's very flexible. It's as long as it sticks where it's at, it should protect it pretty well. And I'm gonna paint over the top of this to see what that looks like, because that is a yellow fender, and I want to make it a yellow fender again. Well, that stuff makes for a really good base coat or primer. Sprayed this thing yellow, and it's still kind of wet, but it's really looking good. Looks a lot better than when I had it out before. So you can still see the imperfections, but it's a dirt bike. It's gonna have imperfections unless I buy brand new plastics. Well, there's the product on the bike. Doesn't look too bad. If you're gonna get something cleaned up for Craigslist, I highly recommend it. Looks pretty good to just sell it. Not that expensive. Now, I'm missing the airbox cover. I took it off yesterday. My kids were out. I don't know where it went. Still missing the tail light. It's on order, just hasn't arrived yet from China. Got it on Amazon. But it looks pretty good. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen the first tree I hit, but it feels pretty smooth. And up here I painted that, this fender used to look like that, and then I just painted it with regular paint over the top of it, hoping that it would stick more. You gotta there's little bugs. Get off of my paint, bugs. So, like I said, if you're gonna clean something up for Craigslist, highly recommend it. It sticks really well, looks pretty good, feels good, and if you're gonna maybe use it as a preventative measure, highly recommend that too. We got turkey buzzards, turkey vultures, just all over the place. It's a really unseasonably warm day. Just a few days before Christmas, and
4.
how many?
4.
4 days before Christmas. You need to brush your hair.
I know.
And turkey vultures are out riding the hot waves of the wind. It's like 70 degrees. It's a beautiful day. I would be out riding, but need to spend time with the family too, and don't have a taillight. I did take that one to the store though. Have a Merry Christmas, y'all.